So, yeah, yesterday was Monday, and I was expecting to put the motor together at Gary's, and when I got over there, we said we kind of had a problem. Two of the holes, actually, well, two of them are way bigger, drilled out, kind of stripped, some metal in there. This one too, there's some metal on this side. They're pretty much goobered up, and this one was goobered up too. He got it drilled out a little bigger and drilled it the next size bigger. The problem is Gary's like, he goes, I kind of screwed up. I shouldn't have took these heads in to get them, the valves done on them. We should have taken care of these issues first. And he kind of jumped the gun on it. So we couldn't assemble the motor. So we're kind of stuck. These are 65 heads, and it's going on to 110. And couple people I had posted on the group, I was looking for another set of heads are good. A couple people said I put certs in there, helicoils, but it's way too big for helicoils. Put some certs in there, so I'm probably gonna try the certs. I went to a aluminum welding, a place that does aluminum welding over here. The machine shop says they won't even try to fill that in because it's dirty aluminum. And the shop I went to over here the young guy came up with a pretty good idea. He said he would die grind these down a ways and re-weld it back in about a 1/4 inch or so. I would have preferred if we go more than a 1/4, but if it's weldable, he said first he would just try to weld the top and just see if it will take or not. And if it would, he said he'd grind it down, fill it back in, grind it all back in shape. $100 a hole. So there's 100. That one's the wrong size bolt hole, so I would like that one replaced. 100. So $300. Plus I gotta pull all the valves out because that's gonna get all junked up. So I posted looking for another set of heads maybe. And someone down in Tucson said they have a pair. Later that day, Gary got back to me and said that he had to feel a bunch of them, and he's got a set for sure. He knows a set because it had some paint on both of them. So he figured it came off the same vehicle. And yeah, so I had spent about an hour and a half. I went through every motor I got around this place, all my heads, everything is, Gary says it's gotta be just 65s, not 65 through 67 or 65 through whatever, 69. He said because, I mean, these still would all need to be straightened too, but because for the tins, it has 2 larger holes here and 3 smaller ones. And every head that I have, it's like, I don't have just 65s, I have like 65 to 67, 65, 69 or whatever. And they have just all the big holes in here. So, I mean, I don't know, could we just drill the tins out bigger? But anyways, guy in Tucson's got a good set, rebuildable set. He said you probably just have to go over them for $100. I'm probably gonna go down there anyways, down to Tucson to pick up parts, maybe a vehicle. I didn't notice there's a bunch of helicoils in most of these too. Not that I guess that would really matter, but I think there's 4 or 5 helicoils in there I could see that are in there. But anyway, so the motor build is kind of on the back burner right now, but I'm still cranking away in the shop here, working on painting and getting the tins done and all that. So that's where we are with the motor right now. All right, talking about the problem we had with the heads that are ready to rock and roll, almost were.
Right. All right, on this particular head, I retapped the holes that are there. This one here was the only one that would retap that you could screw a bolt back into. This one I had to drill down further and then put some threads in there so you could put a longer mold in.
But that's a bigger hole too.
And it's a bigger hole to begin with. This one here is a little bigger hole, but again, I drilled it and tapped some threads down in there so you put a longer one. This one here is just plain ugly. That's had metal, like a time cert, but it looks like it went in there crooked. So instead of it being straight, it was at this angle to screw a bolt into. So I asked around to see if anybody would clean it up and then re-weld it, and then we can re-drill it. And they were saying $100 per hole, and then they wouldn't guarantee it.
And that was just to weld it in on the top, right? Correct?
No, they're going to auger this,
Oh, yeah.
cut it all out, and then
Yeah.
start here, and then weld it back up to the top.
Okay.
And then smooth it off and weld it, and tap it, drill and tap it.
Okay.
So we can put a 1/4 inch. But you know, we've got 1, 2. This is the one that's ugly. This one here, I've got one here. This one here has a time cert in, or not a time cert, but a helicoil in it. And this one here looks like it had a helicoil that has come out. And then this one here is another one of these ugly holes. So we just grabbed another set of heads and run them through the machine shop, and they was all in real good condition for these bolt holes, and the valve job and everything turned out real nice.
These are 65s.
Yep. And
65 only.
right. And these are, just in case somebody wants to know, these are the 3856 759. Let me get you a picture of that.
Yeah, I got that. Yep.
Oop, that makes it worse. Doesn't it?
Yeah. Okay. 65 only.
Right.
And the way you can tell that is
The
turkey roaster holes, 2?
yeah,
3.
3 of these are 1/4 20s, and then you have the 3/8 bolts back here.
Because Gary told me, he said, look through your heads to see what you have. And I kept saying I have 65 heads, but he said already 65 only, and I have the ones that have just all the big holes. And that's like 65 through 67, 65, 69, right? Something.
Yeah, that's in the book, but in reality, they take the 3/8, 3/8, 3/8, 3/8, and the others 3/8 instead of 1/4 20, 1/4 20, 1/4 20, which is a 65.
Okay.
And then 6 through 9, 66 through 69 on the head bolt holes that are in the head, instead of this gap being in here, they're actually covered, so you can't see the stud coming through, and they actually hold better because there's more meat there that's in the casting of aluminum to hold the head on.
Okay. All right.
And before you put your heads on your engine, double check that your fins on the head have a gap in them. Get these fins apart.
And some people say you like deflash them or something, or they clean all the Yeah. All the
debris out of it.
the casting debris and stuff.
Yep.
Clean them.
Yes.
So cool a little better.
Yep. The more air you get through it, the cooler your engine's going to be. Or the less heat. Yeah, anything to get these opened up so the air will go through them. If you use a hole saw or a, what do you call this stuff?
Oh, a drywall?
Drywall saw. You can get down in the middle of these and clean the debris and.
Oh, like a sawzall?
Right,
yeah.
right.
Clean it out.
Yep.
And these ones had a bunch of Healy coils in it anyways.
And the spark plug holes.
Most of them did.
Right.
Okay. All right. So we're sitting these ones off to the side, maybe down the road. We'll play with them.
Right.
And put time certs in them. But for now, we're sitting them to the side and
right.
work on some other ones. So these are the other ones that Gary had.
Took out of stock. And run these through the machine shop. I got all the parts put back on these. I removed the exhaust ports so they get down inside of that with their bead blasters so it gets nice and clean. We straighten the choke springs and got them cleaned up and put back on. They're kind of a rascal, and I still got a little bit of work to do on this head, but I run a tap through each one of the spark plug holes and cleaned all of that out from the debris that the bead blaster doesn't get into threads very well. So what I do is run a tap through them, and what I use is my tap from the Healy coil unit to put Healy coils in the head, but I just run the very first part of it to clean out the threads that are there instead of running it all the way through and then put a Healy coil in. Unless you got a real bad spot, which one of these heads does have a Healy coil in it. In fact, it's this one here. And I ran a tap down through that like I did the rest of them on this, and it's nice and clean, so I'm happy with that. So these are ready to go on, with the exception of putting in the head gaskets. And what I'm using on this are the copper head gaskets, because these hold a lot better.
Is there an upside down side to them?
Well, there is. These are cut from the top down, so these will have just a little bit of a spot around this and on the inside, and they're nice and round on the top.
Gotcha.
On the outer edge. And I like to put this spot with the cut, you can just barely feel it. I like to put them on the head side so that the cylinder goes up against this nice cut area. They're a lot of fun to put in because when you tip them up, they want to fall out. So you have to be real careful putting them on.